The Russian invasion of Ukraine is now in its 10th day, and there was a brief respite from fighting late yesterday as humanitarian corridors were opened in the hope thousands could escape the city of Mariupol. But it was short-lived. President Putin remains defiant, warning sanctions imposed by the West are akin to a declaration of war. These are the main developments. Evacuation routes set up in the encircled city that we mentioned and another city close by called Volnovakha. But Russian forces were soon accused of breaking the temporary ceasefire. The UN atomic watchdog says the world narrowly avoided a nuclear catastrophe after the Russian attack on the second biggest nuclear power plant in Europe. Elsewhere, troops are closing in on a number of other Ukrainian cities and crucial economic hub of Odessa. In the north, just outside the capital, Kiev, 7 people, including children, were reportedly killed in an airstrike. The governor of Kiev region says Russian forces have taken a psychiatric hospital north of the capital without authorities being able to evacuate the 600 or more patients. The Ukrainian Ministry of Defense claims it shot down a Russian helicopter north of Kiev. Fighting has intensified in the city of Irpin, with reports bridges and large infrastructure have been destroyed. Sky's Deborah Haynes has the latest.
A precarious escape with the bridge destroyed. They flee with what little they can carry. Young, old, even pets. Ukrainian troops offer a helping hand to escape towns on the outskirts of Kiev under Russian attack. But there's little hope of relief, with the heart of the capital also under threat. The man who unleashed the invasion now playing the victim after Western allies punished Russia in response with unprecedented economic sanctions.
These are methods of fighting against Russia. These sanctions that you can see are equivalent of war, but thankfully it has not come to an actual war. But we understand what these threats are about.
But it's Vladimir Putin's forces making the menacing moves. These images from Russia's defense ministry show troops outside Kiev and attacking from the air. It's a military threat that was meant to halt briefly in parts of southern Ukraine to allow civilians safe passage out of harm's way. But the effort had to be halted.
Humanitarian corridors must work today, Mariupol and Volnovakha, to save people, women, children, the elderly, to give food and medicine to those who remain.
Sky News has verified this footage taken yesterday from Mariupol. Just look at the devastation after days of bombardments. Food, water and medical supplies also running out. Such suffering has prompted increasingly anguished pleas from Ukraine for Western allies to patrol their skies and stop Russian airstrikes. A Russian attack on a nuclear plant this week, underlining how the violence in Ukraine can't necessarily be contained within its borders.
Are all those who hesitate now whether it's necessary to close the sky over Ukraine ready to sacrifice the lives and health not only of Ukrainians, but also of their children? This is not about a war somewhere far away in Ukraine. It's about your safety and about the nuclear danger to the whole world.
But NATO allies have ruled out imposing a no-fly zone. It would require them to shoot down Russian planes, risking a much wider war. Instead, countries are individually sending in weapons, helping Ukraine to defend its own airspace. Here, Ukrainian forces apparently downing a Russian helicopter. Civilians too are taking a stand. This is the southern city of Kherson, the first to fall to Russian troops, but not going quietly. Deborah Haynes, Sky News, Lviv.